Alone here this afternoon. The first thing I'm going to say is if either of you two ladies start to cry, I'm going to cry, and it's going to cause the third one of us to cry, and it's just going to all go off the rails. So we're going to do our best not to cry. No promises. I am joined by Tracey Thomas, also joined by Emily from the Fort St. John Hospital Foundation. I honest to God, I almost said Fort City Chrysler because I was looking at that sign, and I was like, no, I know that's not right. So Fort St. John Hospital Foundation, Bluey Day participant. As always, we'll start with Emily, not to leave you waiting or leave you hanging or anything. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about Bluey Day. Why is it important? What is it? And you're still looking for people to sign up. How can they sign up?
Yeah, so we are still looking for participants. Bluey Day is on May 24th, but you can still sign up to be brave and shave. You can sign up on our website, fsjhospitalfoundation.ca. Right now, we're at 31 participants and more than $32,000 raised.
None of that thanks to me.
180.
Yeah, it's
you.
not. It's
checked.
not great. It's not great. And look, I put in the work. I'm trying here, man. That's all I can do.
I've thought about donating $200 myself just to be able to be the one to pick Chris's hair color.
Well, and we've made this threat. And Tracey, if you don't know, yeah, basically I did a blank canvas and said, first person that donates $200, you get to pick. Do you want zebra stripes? Do you want the full rainbow? Do you want bright hot pink? Do you want lime green? You do your thing. And I've got no donations. So clearly that's working well, right? Emily, a couple of other things really quickly that the Fort St. John Hospital Foundation has coming up include Smile Cookies. You walked in with a giant cookie. I was very excited.
I did.
And it's the first reason that I wanted to cry this afternoon because it's not a real cookie. And I'm sad.
It's not a real cookie, but I have been thinking if we do get enough interest, maybe I would have Tim Hortons make us a giant cookie and auction it off. And all those proceeds would also go to the hospital foundation.
Make you a deal. You get a second one made, straight trade. You get to pick my hair color. I'll get a giant cookie out of it.
Okay, I'll do it.
Awesome.
I'll do it.
My diabetic dietitian is out there cringing and crying in a corner somewhere. We'll worry about them later. Not worried about them. I want to talk to Tracey and about Tracey. First off, thank you for coming in. Always a pleasure to have a new face in the studio. Tracey, when it comes to Bluey Day, and I think I'll try to put it exactly how I did off air. When it comes to Bluey Day, most people come in and I say, well, what got you interested? And they say, well, we all know someone who's dealt with cancer in their lives. You, though, you've had a kick to the soul when it comes to cancer. Can you tell us a bit about your story and what got you interested in Bluey Day?
Well, November of 2023, I'd taken my son into emergency figuring he had the flu. And that's when we found out that he had leukemia, acute myeloid leukemia.
Can I ask how old he was?
26.
Okay.
Yeah. So then he was airlifted to Vancouver where they started with bone marrow biopsies and testing. He had internal bleeding behind his eyes. He had his appendix removed. It was a very, very long battle. Yesterday was actually the anniversary for his stem cell transplant. It's been 1 year. And that, in the process of my son being in Vancouver for treatment, my mother-in-law was also diagnosed with cancer. So luckily, both of them are doing well. I guess I want to do Bluey Days so that I can maybe try and bring treatment a little closer to home for people. And that, my husband and my son were in Vancouver from November until August.
Wow.
Because there's no leukemia treatment other than Vancouver for all of British Columbia.
I mean, forget the one place for treatment, which problematic in itself. The cost of travel, the cost of having to be in Vancouver for such an extended period of time. For some, it's, well, the travel down, the travel back, and the hotels. But, I mean, you're talking about hotels, meals. There's still bills that you need to pay. There's still extra stress at home.
Yeah.
And to deal with two forms of cancer from two different people at the same time, it's not a kick to the soul. It is everyone's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Cancer is, I mean, there's nobody nobody listening, watching, doesn't matter, that will go, oh, well, thank goodness it's cancer. That's not a thing. It's everybody's worst fear. To deal with it twice, to double up, you are a stronger woman than I. For a couple of reasons, but a stronger woman than I. Tracey, we're talking about bringing treatments closer to home. And I think that is the whole point of Bluey Day, right? That's everything that we're raising money for.
Yeah.
How much would that have helped in every way? Forget financial. I mean, just the support alone must be night and day.
It would be huge, because even now, a year after the fact, we're still traveling to Vancouver every 2 months for follow-up appointments.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so missed work, all that.
Yeah. Missed work,
you know.
extra bills. Those travel costs, they're not getting any cheaper.
No.
Well, thank God gas dipped down 10 cents a liter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's insane. So, Tracey, what is your ask for the community? What are you trying to raise for people?
Well, my goal is $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, I'd love to get more than that. But ideally, you know, if we can do something so that there can be more treatment, maybe some follow-up, they can get initial testing and treatment here and only need to go to Vancouver for, you know, say the stem cell transplant.
Yeah.
And
The actual there's different levels of treatment, and what your son went through is a lot. But even if we can take the edge off in any way,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're raising money for.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to throw it over to Emily just for a quick second, because I know that you're new with the foundation. But how many of these stories do you guys get in the run of a year, the run of a month? I mean, it's got to be more. It's more than one.
Yeah, we do get quite a few. Right now we're working on a video documentary of someone else's journey with the Community Cancer Center. They were lucky enough to be able to have the treatment at home between here and Dawson Creek, but they did still have to travel to Dawson as well.
yeah.
And I know that the cancer center here, they love that they can send people home to their beds. So that is the goal for eventually.
I'm doing okay. I'm not crying yet. I'm almost there, but I'm not crying yet. So Tracey, here's what we want people to do. If you're out there and you're listening, we've got a live stream video going out to our Facebook page, YouTube page, all the different places. And your link is right under this video. So whether they're at work watching, bored, and trying to avoid work, or whether they come back and watch this later, that link will be right there for them. If you don't have the ability to go and look that up immediately, some people still don't have Facebook, and I kind of don't blame them. If you want to text me right now at 787-2222, I will personally send them the link as a response, just to try and help garner as many donations as we can. But the floor is yours. Is there anything else that you'd like to share, you'd like to say? We're looking for $1,000, and I mean, if it could be one donation, it could be 1,000 single-dollar donations.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Just whatever people can do to help, whether it's pass the word along, come out and support people, anything is appreciated.
Yeah. I always like to say we don't expect you to give everything you can, but give whenever you can.
Yeah.
Right? We don't want your last dollar, but if you've got a couple of dollars to spare, this might be the place to put it. Tracey, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Bless you and your family. Thank goodness they're doing better now. And I know that there's still a road to recovery.
Yeah.
But we're out of the woods.
Yeah.
So we're thankful for that. Tracey,
Yes,
thank you so much for coming in. Emily, am I missing anything from you? Anything else you want to throw out there so that I don't cry?
No, I think we're all wrapped up.
All right. Ladies, thank you again for coming in. Thank you for taking part in Bluey Day. I certainly hope that yours goes better than mine. And we wish nothing but the best for you and your family,
I'm sure
Tracey.
you'll probably look better bald than I will.
Well,